Right, I'll bring everyone on screen, and I think we
Good to go.
we can see everyone joining. It looks like we've got a decent amount of people in.
Yep.
Hopefully, we'll be sharing the recording afterwards for anyone who joins partway through anyway. So over to you, Michael, and the guys.
Thank you, Carl. Thank you. So I'd like to welcome to our webinar from Chaos to Control. It's great to have you all here. It's my pleasure to be able to present our kind of solution aimed at SME markets, for really bringing kind of a fast track solution for SME markets to bring control to your product data. So the agenda for today's call, the webinar, is basically a little introduction to Razorleaf and who we are. Then a discussion about why you might be here, what might bring you to this, and why we think our quick start solution might be suitable for you. We'll describe a little bit about what you get, and also describe some of the customer situations where we've helped bring kind of control to some chaos that people are experiencing, and then a little bit of a demo of the solution we've got, and hoping to end up with a little time at the end for some questions and answers. So first of all, let me give you an introduction to Razorleaf. So my name is Michael Welty. I am the Managing Director of Razorleaf in the UK. I'm joined today by Graham Law, our PLM Solution Architect, and Dennis Lineger, who's the Aras Solution Manager for the US. Oh, change your camera off. So Razorleaf was a company that was founded in 2000 in the US, and we've now got over 140 consultants spread across North America and Europe. We've had 1,500 customers, over 1,500 customers, and also worked on over 5,000 projects, mostly around PLM and digital thread and kind of digital transformation. Razorleaf has got offices in the US, UK, Europe, and India. And our customer base is quite varied. So we've got a lot of experience across a lot of different industries, ranging from aerospace and defense right away through to governments and all the others in between. And so what we've done is kind of taken some of the experience we've had across all these industries and tried to put it into our system. So let's talk a little bit about why you might be here. Okay, so kind of what we're realizing is if you're still managing your product data in files and folders, if you're finding yourself getting buried in spreadsheets or constantly looking for information, searching for emails or documents, this could be a good solution to you. Equally, if you've got a PDM system that's really kind of limited, not meeting your needs, again, we think our quick start solution, built on top of Aras Innovator, will be a good thing to grow and kind of expand and take control of your digital thread, particularly for the SME market. So let's talk a little bit about kind of some of the situations that we currently see going on in SMEs at the moment. And there's common chaos, as it were. So if you're not using kind of a proper system like the PLM to kind of manage and maintain your information, and you're using kind of files and folders, you're going to quite quickly get into common chaoses where you've got lots of duplicate files, lost revisions. You're constantly looking for information to see, am I looking at the most up-to-date data? Am I constantly dealing with broken CAD links, things like that? Have I got an effective control release process? Do I know that what I'm looking at is the right information? Can lead to a common chaos. And these can lead to typical pain points where you've got like a lack of traceability. You're not quite sure where things are at, what status they're at, what information you're looking at is correct. You can't tell accountability who's changed things or should they be able to change things and that sort of stuff. And not having any kind of the change process and keeping up with changes and understanding what's going on and always reacting to problems can lead to a lot of firefighting and that. So also, if you find yourself trying to manage more and more of your process using spreadsheets and files and folders, you quite quickly get to a point where you find it's not sustainable. You can't grow out of this, and you always end up fighting fires. These fires are going to get worse and worse as customer expectations grow more and more, and the needs for rising compliance requirements. So kind of traceability to know where you're at and what your parts are going at. And also faster delivery is going to lead to all sorts of chaos, which can have a lot of negative impact downstream as well. leading to costly reworks in your products where you've got things wrong or things done incorrectly. A lot of duplication of efforts where you are constantly having to re-enter the same information again and again. And also spend all that time you spend wasting trying to find and search and verify that the data you've got is the right information and you're looking at the right version of a product and details and those things. This can lead to a situation where essentially you're kind of suffering from chaos. All of your data is spread across loads of folders. You've got uncontrolled version files and data files across the place. Your engineers are constantly searching around, trying to find things, searching emails, searching on version documents, and never being quite confident or sure of what they're looking at is the correct information. Is it the most up-to-date version of their product? Is it the most up-to-date version of their designs? Is it released? Is it not released? And this chaos can lead to some real complex situation where you're constantly fighting fires. And we think that things like our Quick Start can bring a company more under control to start with quicker on a PLM platform that is very robust and scalable, and then bring some control to your data. So bring it all together in one platform in a way the way you're controlling the process, the access, and ensuring that people are always looking at the right version of information at the right time in the right format. So why would you choose our Quick Start? So essentially what we've taken is one of the big things for SMEs is trying to get started on PLM. It can be quite a daunting thing, as it were, and it can be a big beast. What we're taking on our Quick Start is a slightly different approach, where we've created a package solution designed for bill of material, CAD, and document management that acts as a suitable base for you to start growing your PLM experience. So using this, you can kind of start managing and maintaining your data. The solution is designed to be scalable, so Aras Innovator as a platform is a highly scalable solution from a small number of users up to many, many thousand users. Because it's a quick start solution, it's been pre-packaged to make it a quick and small deployment for the IT infrastructures. So we've got a simple, if you want to do an on-premise installation, we've got quite a simple process for installing and setting it up to get it up and running fast. Also, if you're interested in the cloud, there's also a SaaS solution as well. And the aim is to basically give you a PLM platform that you can use in a matter of days and weeks that will get you started on your PLM journey in a controlled way, so you can take control of your engineering data and act as a solid core to grow your needs, and act as a PLM platform that's fit for your business now, but can also grow with you and extend in the future. So what you would get in our Quick Start essentially is our pre-packaged Aras Innovator deployment that includes our configuration for BOM, CAD, and document management that's designed to basically give you a quick start, to get you up and running with something that would work, and then you can adapt it and change it as you get more understanding of what your processes are and how you want to take control of it. Our Quick Start also includes our change management module, which builds on top of the excellent Aras Innovator kind of processes and workflows, but adds what we think is a kind of a critical, essential functionality to use it. To let you take control of your CAD data, your design information, it also includes the CAD integration to let you bring your CAD designs into the platform in an effective way. And also for all your documentation, it includes the Office integration. To get you up and running as quickly as possible, our pre-packaged solution also includes all our training guides and documentation and videos, which gives you some detailed guides on how to use our configured environment to meet the initial requirements for BOM and CAD and document management. And to make sure you get up and running effectively, it also includes our hypercare support. As well as this, you'd also get obviously the Aras subscription itself. This Aras subscription itself will provide you with Aras support, as part of which they'll also commit to upgrading your environment to the newer versions as and when they come out. You also get access to the Aras training courses, which are kind of free for subscribers, which really let you learn how to do everything within Aras itself and extend it to your complete digital thread. And to help with that, to give you ideas of what you can do with Aras and how you can apply it for future things, there's a very wide and useful Aras user community out there that's got some great ideas. And also the Aras marketplace, where you've got kind of bolt-on solutions to extend your Aras platform to do more things with the digital thread. So now I'm going to hand over to Dennis, who's going to talk through some of our customer situations where we've gone from kind of chaos to control. Dennis.
Thank you, Michael. As Michael said, I'm Dennis Slininger, and I'm from Razorleaf in the United States. And I wanted to give you a little bit of background to frame how we got to a quick start. Razorleaf has been implementing Aras Innovator for about 16 years. And through that time, we've repeatedly been asked for the same configurations and same customizations. And that led to about 10 years ago to us creating what we call the change management module and the productivity pack, which is some components to streamline implementations, some standard change processes. And the quick start is the next evolution of that. It takes those things that are included in our change management module and productivity pack, embeds them into a ready-to-go solution and some additional configuration around numbering and naming, and gives you a solution that is that's turnkey, ready to go, and it still gives you the ability to grow and change that in the future. I'm going to talk about 4 different examples of chaos that we run into in all of our implementations, and how we typically solve those through a product like Aras Innovator. The first chaos we see, and the primary driver for looking at a system, is what I call the CAD file free-for-all. Files and folders are typically accessed by engineering. Everybody has the same access. That ease of access is traded off with not knowing what changes are made, or not having the ability to know where things are used, or easily identify the impact of making a change. Where used information is difficult or impossible to determine, and users can rename and move files, and that results in assemblies with broken links, and unable to find their components. All of this results in part number proliferation because engineers can't find or can't trust the parts that they know of or that they have in front of them. They choose to create a new part number, and part numbers are expensive. A lot of organizations don't think about that, but the cost of creating a new part and verifying that new design, that can range from $10,000 to $30,000. So how do we eliminate that chaos with the CAD file free-for-all? Well, the first one is to put some control around access. So with a system like Innovator, we have a collection of ways to limit access. One is based on item state. So is the CAD file released? Is it in preliminary? If it's released, typically it's restricted from anybody making a change to it. Is the CAD file related to a project? And am I on that project team? Do I have a role in that project team that gives me the ability to see it or edit it? And the last bit of access control that we have is user groups. So am I a member of engineering, or am I a member of purchasing? Those 3 things combine to give us a very granular view of access control. The second way we control is through knowing where parts are used, so that impact analysis is readily available. And the third is wrapping a process around revision control, so that we can have intent associated with why we are making a change. The next chaos that we see is around change management. We see the following issues. Without a system-based process, there's no enforceable oversight to approve a proposed change or the review of an implemented change. When processes based on Excel and email and SharePoint, those processes do not have any analysis tools. like where used, so to help you determine what the impact of that change is. And then tracking the intent of the change can be critical. Was the drawing released to provide a supplier for quoting purposes? Is it a prototype release? Is it a production release? So all those things combined to be to give us chaos and change management. We can get control around change management with a few items. With a repeatable workflow process that's tailored for prototype or production releases. This allows for a very nimble process for prototype to let you iterate very quickly, and also a more formal process for production releases where you need to get more people with oversight to review maybe manufacturing processes and manufacturing ability and purchase availability, lead times. The second item under getting control of change management is capturing the sign-offs in the change process, knowing the who and the when and the why of a process activity, why, capturing comments on why somebody approved or did not approve the change, capturing that in the context of the part, in the context of the change process. And then using embedded tools in the change process to automatically show where used information to determine the impact of a change that's just built into the change processes in Innovator. The next chaos on my list is searching for parts and assemblies. How do you find parts and assemblies? Does a new hire know where to find parts and assemblies? Can they easily go find part number 473? Do they know where that's stored in the network share? With folder-based management, you're limited to file and folder naming. That's all the metadata that you get. all that metadata is baked into the file name and the folder path. Does your organization have naming and numbering standards? How many parts do you have in your folders named bracket.sldprt? The last one we quite often find is no management of standards parts, or engineers' personal stash of standards. So everybody, engineers all have their own version of standard parts, and they're all slightly different, and none of them are the same. How do we get searchability under control? Well, through no-code administrative tools for adding properties and designing forms with data types like list, pointers to other records in the system, dates, and of course, free text fields. We enforce the capture of data with fields marked as required to make metadata consistent. Remember, all metadata that we capture, all of that becomes searchable in the system. No more Excel files to pull the next part number from, just enable automatic numbering in the system, and your next part will get the next number in the sequence. No more files named bracket or Bob's part. That we just allow the system to automatically rename files following our standard. The last chaos I want to talk about is communicating engineering data downstream. What's your deliverable from engineering? Is it an email of PDFs? Excel file of a BOM? How does purchasing and manufacturing consume it? How do you know that purchasing and manufacturing have the correct revision? When using manual systems, email, and file shares, it can be difficult to trust that downstream has the correct files. Are they in the purchasing share? Are they in the engineering share? Or should I use the ones in the email? It can be difficult to know the source of truth for a bill of material. It's easy to change the quantity in an Excel file. What happens when that CAD doesn't match? Engineering publishes an Excel file representing the part bill of material. How does it get entered in the ERP or MES? How many quantity typos have been entered that you are unaware of? How many times has engineering completed a change and the downstream teams were not notified or they missed the email? How do we get some control around these downstream publishing? Well, the system becomes the source of truth for BOM and CAD data. Downstream consumers get notified when engineering releases automatically. You can also get downstream resources involved earlier in the process for review of proposed changes. Maybe there's a large quantity of inventory that is impacted by a proposed change that purchasing knows about. Consumers can look up information by searching for a part number in the system. And when they find that part number, they see everything related to it, all of its relationships. They can see what BOM is related to that version of the part, and they can also see the CAD viewables associated with it. As I mentioned earlier, that access can be based on the state of the item and all the other parameters I mentioned. A PLM system can be wired up to downstream systems to automatically update those systems based on events such as a release. This eliminates duplicate data entry and results in more reliable data. With that, I'm going to turn it over to Graham so he can take us through the demo.
Thanks, Dennis. Afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining. I'm Graham Law. I'm a PLM solution architect with Razorleaf UK. Today, I'm going to give you an example of a day in the life of a design engineer. Okay, so this is our quick start system. So it's built to take control of design chaos. We've combined industry best practices with our years of experience in PLM, hopefully giving you our idea of what we think good looks like. So I'll just set the scene. So imagine I'm a designer. So today I need to find an assembly, check its CAD data and documents are all present. I need to examine the 3D model, and then I need to complete a change that I've been working on. So the quick start system is browser based, so there's no need to install anything. I can just log in with my favorite browser. So I'll just click the login button here. So here is my daily view. So as a design engineer, this is what I see on a day-to-day basis. This is my Aras interface. As you can see, it's very clean. It's very intuitive. It's simple to navigate and easy to find everything here. So the first thing that I need to do is to find my latest design information for my assembly. I have an assembly called a MakerBot, which is a 3D printer. So I can't remember the part number, so I'm going to put its name in. Okay, brilliant. So as you can see, the system has gone away and found my MakerBot assembly. It's part number 393. So I'll just open that up. So here is the part record for my MakerBot. A part in Aras is a BOM item. Have a look down the bottom here and you'll see that all its related data is collected together. So we've got CAD documents, BOM structures and BOM. Also, we've got where used and any changes that are applied to it. So if I click in the documentation, so here you can see I've got a few documents that are related to my MakerBot. In this case, I'd like to have a quick look at the specification to see whether it's okay. So once again, just give that a double click. So that this is the document record for my specification. In Aras, you can actually view the files directly. It has got integrated viewers. So in this case, I'm just going to take a look at the specification sheet. So it looks good. I'm happy with that. So I'm going to close that. And then I'm going to move on to have a look at the CAD itself. So again, you can see that the related CAD documents are here. I've got a couple of versions and I've got the drawing. So I'm just going to take a look at this one. So here again, you can see I've got my CAD structure. So it lists all the parts and all the sub-assemblies that are related to this particular MakerBot assembly. Another good thing is we have an integrated 3D viewer. So I can actually look at the 3D model itself without using the native CAD application. So you can see I can rotate it, I can zoom it, I can also explode it to see individual parts. And there's also options to measure it, to section it, and add markups as well. So even if you're not a CAD user, with our Aras Quick Start, you've still got access to the 3D CAD data. So I'll just move back over here now. So the other thing we've got is we can also look at the BOM. So we've got the BOM here, which is the flat BOM, just giving the assemblies and the quantities. And the next tab, this shows me my BOM structure itself. So in this structure is the part that I am currently changing. So the one that I'm looking at is this Mark 7 thermal core. So this one is in change, as you can see. I've got it as revision A. It's in change, and I'll just open it up. So if we take a look here, you can see that revision A is in change, and this is the one that I'm working on. And under the changes tab, you can see I've got my ECO. So I'll give that a click. So on the ECO, you can see that I've got my impact matrix here. So which lists the items that are obviously in change. Again, notice they're in Rev A and in change. If I go back to the part itself and click Open Current, so you can see I have my revision B and it's currently in a preliminary state. Once I complete the change, that will move across to production state and appear in the BOM itself. So I've checked all of that. Next task is to open the part in its native CAD application to check it's okay, and then check that all is good with the main MakerBot assembly. So I'll just switch to my CAD machine. And a Quick Start platform does include a CAD connector. So it'll include a CAD connector for one of the mainstream CAD applications. In this case, we're using the SolidWorks one. So what I've been asked to do is check the integrity of the part and then also check the integrity of the assembly before I actually complete the change. So again, I can do a search. I remember the part had got the word core in it, so I'll give a search here. So here we go. Here's my thermal core. We can see it's part number 405. So I'll give that a double click. And you can see here that when the change is complete, it'll become B and it'll be in production. At the moment, because I've just made the changes, it's still in a preliminary state. So I'll just click here to retrieve the part. Okay, so this is the part that I've made the change on. So imagine that everything is completed and I've checked this part in. So the next thing I need to do is jump to my assembly and just make sure that that part is all good in the assembly itself. So once again, I'll go and retrieve the main assembly. Now, if you remember, it was called MakerBot. So I'll just type that in there. As you can see, this is my MakerBot. All this data has been pulled from Aras. So I'll just give that a click to open it up. Okay, so that all looks good. So I'm going to retrieve that. While that's loading, it's good to note that you can keep working inside your favorite CAD application. And the integrated connector will take care of all the complex CAD relationships. So it makes sure there's no broken links in your CAD or your BOM. So you're always confident that you're looking at the right version of the model. Oh, and also each connector has an integrated toolbar that you can see across the top here. So you've got quick access to Aras functionality right there in your CAD application. Okay, so my MakerBot assembly is loaded. It looks good. I can't see any errors or issues. So obviously for time constraints, I'm going to assume that everything is okay. So I will now jump back to Aras, and the final task now is to complete the change. So for this particular part, I've already been through it and I've checked it myself and I know that it's good to go. It's probably worth noting that, as Dennis mentioned as well, we do include our change management module, which is what you see here. That module enhances and adds extra functionality to the already excellent and robust Aras change processes. So going back to the ECO then, you can see that it's in progress. It's in draft changes, so I've made my changes here. And all that's left for me to do is to actually approve it. So, but before I do that, if I just show you all the workflow. So behind the ECO is an actual workflow process. As I've just mentioned, we're at the draft changes phase. So the options from there are you can either close the change if you have approval permission, which I do in this case. You can either choose to rework the change or you can submit it to review for further approval. So this is the workflow that sits behind our Razorleaf ECO process. So we'll just head back to the ECO itself. So the change can now be approved and the change process completed by the change approver, which in this case is me. So I'll just click on vote now. As you can see, I need to choose an option. If you remember, we'd got close change, submit to review and cancel change were all parts of the workflow. You have also got the option to delegate and refuse if you wish. In this case, I'm just going to close the change to actually complete everything. So I'll click that, just wait a few seconds for it to complete. So if you have a look at the history now, you can see that the change is closed. So everything has gone through. The ECO is in production. So if I now jump back to my BOM, I'll just give it a quick refresh. Okay, so I'll jump back to the BOM and I'll go and have a look at my part. So now if you take a look, you can see my thermal core has now been updated to revision B because all my changes were okay and I was happy. It's now in production and it's now part of the main BOM. So my work today is complete. And so to conclude then, with Quick Start, your team spends less time fixing data problems and more time moving products ahead. So, and you've also got the confidence that everyone is working from the same page. So hopefully it'll be bringing your data from chaos back into control. So final thing from me, thank you for listening. Hope you all found the demo useful and I'll now hand you back to Michael.
Thank you, Graham. So thank you for that. And now we're going to have a look at opportunities to answer some of any questions that have come up during the webinar.
Yeah, I've got some pre-prepared Q&A questions for you guys. Just say anyone watching, I saw a hand flash up. If you wanted to drop a question into the Q&A section, in the Teams viewer, we can read those out. I'll read those out to the guys and hopefully get you an answer. So got a few, hopefully not too challenging ones, guys, for you. So first one, what are the most common quick wins when implementing a PLM from this kind of switching from a less structured, more chaotic system?
So I guess the main thing is, also with our Quick Start, is designed to kind of give you a system that you can use straight away. Usually the most intimidating thing with these things is getting started. So we give you something you can get started out of the box to kind of help you on your kind of PLM journey and get you going as quick as possible to really take control over your data and kind of enforce some sort of process control so people can find stuff. And then once you've got it up and running and you're a bit more familiar with it, you can then expand it and grow it and change it to meet more of your company requirements. Dennis, do you want anything?
Just a reminder that we're starting with just parts, docs, CADs, as we said, but there are a collection of other solutions that are available from Aras, from project management to quality management to manufacturing process planning, and all of those are available to be added on to your Quick Start session.
Cool. And I guess that leads on to one of the other questions in there, which is, do we need perfect processes and data to start? Or, can we start with where we're at? There's not going to be a big implementation cycle, is there? And I'm bundling questions together here, guys. Loads of involvement from IT.
Yeah. I mean, you don't need perfect data or processes to begin. I mean, the aim of Quick Start is to work with what you have now by us providing a pre-configured system that you can work with pretty much immediately. Obviously, it's scalable and expandable, so you could theoretically be working in weeks, not months or years. And then once you've used the system for a few months, you can then decide if you want to start customizing or expanding it or changing processes. But the fact of it is that you get a good solid base to start from.
The aim is really with all these things that you've got to take control of your core information, so your CAD, your bill of material, your documents. Once you've got that solid foundation, you can then grow from there. But without that, it's difficult to take any sort of control of how your company works.
Right, and I guess that leads on to the value and the outcome. One of the questions, how quickly can we expect to see results out of implementation?
I think it's like I just said. Sorry, Michael. Yeah. It's because it's a pre-configured option. I mean, theoretically, it could be weeks instead of waiting for months or years to see a return. Do you want to add anything, Michael?
So I guess one of the things particularly if you're currently not got any sort of platform in place at the moment, it would be quite intimidating to get started. The approach we're taking with our Quick Start is to kind of give you a system that you can use from day one, start getting value, and then that will also give you not just the ability to kind of start taking control of your data and your processes, but give you a sort of solid foundation that you can then grow and adapt to meet more of your business requirements as you get going. But the key thing is to get started with something now, take control of the processes in your data, and then move from there.
Great. And then I guess sort of to leverage Dennis's expertise in the US perspective, Dennis, what's the kind of things that you've seen in the implementations you've done in the US that SMEs in the UK and Europe could take from that?
Yeah, I think this the fact that I kind of touched all on these in my portion of this, but I can't stress enough the value in just being able to know a part number and key it into the system and get everything about it. Get its bill of materials, all of its related documentation, all of its related CAD files. It's very, very powerful. I like to think of the system as a system of links, as a system of relationships. The power of that is just can be incredibly transformative.
And then I guess final one in the list. So, like I say, if there's anyone else with any burning questions, please throw them in. But yeah, will the teams find it easy to use, or is it just another tool? Again, what's your experience? Again, I'm kind of interested in, Dennis, your US perspective, and then Michael and Graham, the kind of on the ground view.
Michael, can you start that? Can you start with that answer?
Yeah, sorry. So I guess the Aras Innovator as a platform is fairly intuitive of how it works and how it kind of how the information is structured together. It's got a very simple and consistent feel across the board. So it's quite easy and quick to get up to speed with how it works and how you can start navigating and finding information. But also it can be kind of easily changed also to meet how your company works, that look and feel, and how your data is structured, and you can adapt it to how your kind of company structures information as well. So I think the learning curve for it is fairly small, and it can get up and running quickly. And then really the main thing is to help make it nice and easy to find information, but also control in a way that controls how you access it, controls what you can see, and kind of helps bring some sort of controls to your processes too.
Well, the only thing that I would add on to that is the quick start training material that we offer as part of this, as well as all of Aras's online training material. It's a powerful way to get up to speed.
Great. I think that's all the questions, guys. So I'll hand back over to you, Michael. Oh, hang on. We've got a hand up there from Gary. Let me see if I... Gary, have you got a question in the Q&A? Can't see one just yet. But
If not, we
can
can
carry on, and I'll see if anything pops up.
Yeah, exactly. We can go. And also, if there's any other questions, so what we essentially, if you're interested, if you want to start seeing more of this, we've got the ability to kind of get some more hands-on experience, give you some more hands-on experience with our Quick Start solution. So we've got, if you're interested in getting more hands-on with our Quick Start and get access to it, we've got the ability to provide you kind of access to one of our Quick Start demo environments to really get to grips with it. So please follow this link that you see on the screen right now to sign up, and we can go from there. Equally, if you've got any other questions or thoughts, or there's any questions we haven't managed to answer, please feel free to get in contact, and we'd love to speak to you.
Great.
Oh, hang on, guys. I think we've got one question. Yeah, Gary's asked a question.
I was going to add some clarity to Carl's question from the part. Yeah, so I get Gary's obviously used Aras a lot in the past. Okay, well we can catch up with that later and take it further if you want.
Yeah, we'll follow up with Gary, because I can't bring him on screen in this webinar environment.
All right, Teams is enough. Well, thank you all for your time. It's great to be able to have the opportunity to speak to you all. And yeah, if you have anything else in the future, or please feel free to get in contact.
Thanks, everyone. Thank you.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Thanks all. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.